first keynote this morning comes from Dilan Rajasingham. Dilan runs CommBank's emerging technology team. He focuses on identifying the kinds of tech that will disrupt the status quo over the medium to long term. So that's 5 to 20 years, which means he's got quite a view. Please welcome Dilan.
Hello, everybody. Everyone looks at me, stunned silence. Let's try again. Hello, everybody. That's better. Let's see if it's better at the end of the speech. So hello and good morning. My name's Dilan Rajasingham, and I am Head of Emerging Technology at the Commonwealth Bank. As pointed out, my role is to identify and experiment with emerging technologies that are expected to radically change the status quo in the next 5 to 20 years. So it's no longer about cloud computing or big data per se. What it's about is things like cyber, blockchain, smart machines, ag tech, next generation compute, including quantum computing, and of course, the Internet of Things. The reason we do this is so that CBA can have a deep emerging tech capability that will allow us to both be competitive in the market, not just now, but in the foreseeable future, and also allows us to look for and find new market opportunities. Why does that matter? Why do we care? Why is this important? It's important because we don't want to go the way of Kodak, or Blockbuster, or Compaq, or Dick Smith, or Borders, just to name a few. Consider Kodak. 1998, Kodak had 175,000 employees and held 85% market share in photo paper. Within a few years, they were bankrupt. Their business model disappeared, and they were left with nothing. This is a perfect example of disruption. And the thing is to remember, if you work for a corporate, if you work for a small and medium-sized business, if you even work for a startup, never take anything for granted. Do not assume that the models you have in place today will work in the future. And in the future, I'm not talking 20 years, I'm talking 5, or maybe even 2, depending on the industry that you're in. But today, I'm not here to talk about doom and gloom. I'm here to talk to you about a new opportunity. Before I do that, a bit of context. Let's talk about industrial revolutions and where IoT fits. The first industrial revolution was when steam power, through transport and some mechanization, moved society from the agrarian through to the industrial. Human and animal labor was beginning to be replaced by machines. The second took this a step further, and a very important step it was. It took us towards mass production with the invention and utilization of electricity. The third took it a step further, digitization, connecting all of us as people through computers, through what we know today as the internet. And the fourth takes this further again. It takes the physical from the first and second. It takes the technological or digital from the third and infuses within it the biological. The fourth industrial revolution is also characterized by smart and connected things. With the cost of computing chips going down, it's becoming possible to connect all kinds of things, from toothbrushes to fridges, from phones to TVs. Our everyday items are becoming smart and connected. If you believe the experts, if you believe the oracles, there will be between 20 and 50 billion connected devices by 2020. Let's pause and think about that for a moment. With the population expected to grow to 8 billion, that's several devices per person, not just a mobile phone, as many of us just carry around today. Equipping these things with sensors enables us to turn the world around them into digital information. And as the Internet of Things develops, this growing population of smart and connected devices will begin to take part in what we call the emerging machine-to-machine economy. In the machine-to-machine economy, machines are starting to make decisions and independently react to the world around them. Many years ago, the world promoted the ability of a fridge to notify us that milk was low. A lot of us at the time laughed at this idea, but it was an important first step. Why don't we take this a bit further? What's the next step? Why not program the fridge to order milk and have it delivered? Why not even take this really mundane task, and that's the critical thing here, this mundane task, and make it autonomous? We're beginning to see the development of autonomous or semi-autonomous machines with the power to make their own decisions, buy and sell services, including their own maintenance and insurance, operate in markets, and participate in the new economy. And in the new economy, they are a new class of market participant. It means the machines that we've built to support us are able to do more, freeing us up to do the things that are important to us. What's important to us? What do you guys think? Shout something out. What's important? To me, it's family. I have 3 young children. I'd like to spend more time. Imagine if I could automate taking the rubbish out. That's a huge thing for me. What about you guys? Health. Anyone else? Friends? Why not? Beer. Perfect. Not being able to drink. Maybe a nanobot can give you your foot. Hanging out the washing. One more. Nature. Brilliant. The evolution of the machine-to-machine economy is underway, and there are 4 steps on the road to establishing the machine-to-machine economy. Step 1. Right now, machines are being instrumented with sensors, self-monitoring tools, and communications capabilities. Remember those toothbrushes, fridges, phones, and TVs, all smart, all connected. Step 2, machines start to look after themselves. Self-monitoring machines become capable of ordering services like maintenance, arranging their own insurance, and start making their own decisions. Those services are initially performed with humans side by side, but are increasingly supplied to machines by other machines. Step 3, instrumented to making decisions, to businesses taking up this opportunity and moving away from buying machines outright and instead adopting shared economic models with managed assets, sharing their services in something like a blockchain distributed ecosystem. Machine subscription models and real-time on-demand leasing are the norm. Imagine that, not having to shell out millions of dollars for an MRI machine. It's prevalent in the airline industry today. How many airlines actually own their own planes? But the step further for them is how do they increase utilization? if the routes they've got those planes on are not profitable. Step 4, so instrumentation. Step 2, looking after themselves. Step 3, being utilized by businesses to increase capability. And step 4, machines as customers. Machines will become increasingly autonomous when selling and buying services in the marketplace and becoming financial actors in their own right. Imagine that. Their own bank accounts, their own payment systems, fully autonomous, self-managed market participants. So why would we do this? What are the benefits to the machine-to-machine economy? What are the benefits of automating the things we all wish we didn't have to do? And we've talked about those. So this should be obvious. Well, using machines more efficiently will lead to cheaper products and services. New automated marketplaces will reduce barriers to entry in many industries and also create new business models and new opportunities. That's something we should all be striving for, those opportunities. Automating mundane tasks, as we've talked about before, will allow us to do the things that we love to do, the things that we're passionate about, the things that we don't have time to do today. For me, it's spending more time with family, and we've heard many others. So, we've discussed the machine-to-machine economy, we've discussed its benefits, but what's required? What's needed to bring this marketplace to life? To bring this marketplace to life, this new economy, there are indeed a few things. I'm going to talk about 4. Firstly, the IoT foundation, this nervous system of connected devices and an infrastructure to connect them in an efficient way. And remember, smart machines that use this nervous system will be everything from simple sensors that digitize data around the world to sophisticated robots. Different machines will have different abilities. Some will be able to move, others will be stationary. Some will collect data, others will utilize it. Some will have access to the energy grid. Some will have batteries that need to be recharged. Whatever their form, in order to realize the machine-to-machine economy, this foundation is critical. So what's next? What's the second element? The second element, sitting on top of this connected swarm of machines, this hyper-connected swarm, is automation and AI, the brain, layer 2. In the short term, it's easy to envisage simple smart contracts with built-in guardrails, such as regulatory and business rules, protecting the integrity of society. But, and think about this, as artificial intelligence begins to arrive at scale, and both automation and autonomous decision-making become the norm, the question is, will these mechanisms be enough? This is an unanswered question. That's why it's important for intelligent machines to learn about regulation and socially responsible behavior. In the same way that we educate our children to follow social norms, we will need to ensure that these new machines are ethical. The third step, building on this foundation of machines that are superconnected and their ability to utilize artificial intelligence at scale, we have organization and collaboration. This could be enabled by blockchain and DAOs, or distributed autonomous organizations. These are organizations that are designed to operate using a decentralized model, underpinned and controlled by a network of smart machines, smart contracts on a blockchain. The distributed nature of a DAO means that decisions are made via a series of coded algorithms embedded in smart contracts. In effect, once it's set up, it can run itself. Scary, huh? It's good to see no one else is scared. The fourth and final element, building on this nervous system foundation, building on artificial intelligence at scale, building on organization and collaboration, is competition and value sharing. I think out of everything I've just talked about, value sharing is the most important, and here's why. Value sharing and competition can be delivered by digital marketplaces and the Internet of Services. Digital marketplaces are marketplaces that see self-managed machines sharing their services in a blockchain-based ecosystem. The Internet of Services is where smart machines will not only buy in services like maintenance, inspections, and insurance, they will also sell their services as products, with businesses paying per mile, per hectare, per hour, or more importantly, and this is the critical thing in value sharing, per outcome. An outcome-based economy will ensure that value is shared fairly and that those providing products and services are rewarded in proportion to that value that they generate from their products and services, rather than their investment in time and how many products they sell. So think about that. Actual value from the products that we buy and sell, because the people that buy and sell them are invested to ensure that they're utilized well and actually perform the function they were designed for and deliver value to those that purchase them. That's a fundamental change in the way we do things today. Some examples: drones and charging stations. Drones are shared assets. Drones themselves will be censored to enable repair when it is required, or indeed charging when needed. The drone will pay for recharging and repairs using the currency it makes from the services it provides. Multiple drones will use the same service station, sharing energy and bandwidth. Other examples include driverless cars and platooning, sensors and data monetization, and machine swarms that share value creation while dynamically reorganizing themselves to serve different purposes for individuals or businesses. So what are we doing about this? Why does CommBank care? I mean, we're a bank. We provide financial products. Well, if machines are going to transact, they will need a financial services infrastructure. As the first step in creating the financial services infrastructure that will underpin the machine-to-machine economy, we've been working to understand how these trends will impact our clients and the broader business landscape. In the coming weeks, CBA is publishing a white paper which covers this very topic and its implications, including what I've talked about in this speech. As attendees of Everything IoT, you will be the first to receive a copy, so watch out for the email. And also, in the coming months, we will release the results of an experiment that deals with some of the topics that I've been talking about today. The machine-to-machine economy is not a vision of the distant future. Most of the technologies needed to put it into action already exist. We're standing on the cusp of something that presents an incredible opportunity, but can also possibly come with unexpected consequences. It is now the time to address individually, collectively, and industry-wide the moral and ethical issues that makes us question the very human condition. It is now time to realize this question: if we don't do these things, will we end up with Frankenstein's monster? I don't think so, personally. I think as a species as we've grown up through thousands of generations, as we've moved through tens of thousands, if not millions of years, we've matured to the point where we can accept change. We can accept that change will become the norm, and we will adapt to meet it. Personally, I wake up every day excited by the endless opportunities that this change brings to us. And that's why I would like to leave you with the words of poet Richard Brautigan. I like to think, and sooner the better, of a cybernetic meadow where mammals and computers live together in mutually programming harmony like pure water touching the sky. I like to think, right now please, of a cybernetic forest filled with pines and electronics, where deer stroll peacefully past computers as if they were flowers with spinning blossoms. I like to think, and it has to be, of a cybernetic ecology, where we are free of our labors and joined back to nature, returned to our mammal brothers and sisters, and all watched over by machines of loving grace. Thank you.